Yo, what's going on? It's Les. Welcome back. I appreciate y'all pulling up and coming through to kick it. Please come on in, relax, kick your feet up. It's going to be a really good video today, and I hope that you guys are ready. Looks like the dogs are ready. I'm pretty sure you guys can see Bishop right now. Per usual, the dude is almost, he's always camera ready. So, um, super excited to be in front of you guys today. And I hope that today's video is going to be one that can help you out, that's relatable, and could bring some type of new perspective to your life. And so, before we get into all of that, let's pray. God, I thank you so much for this opportunity to be in front of this video camera and to be in front of the people that you have across from this video camera. God, I thank you, Lord, that you have seen me as someone fit to be a messenger and someone who's going to really take your kingdom and bring it to places that are probably um, unimaginable, or a lot of people would say that it's not a place where you should be, Father, but you should be everywhere, Lord. And I thank you that I can do this for you. And I praise you and honor you and pray for the person that is watching the video that they get some good understanding today and some enlightenment and some good help. So I thank you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So today we are talking about why changing the game depends on you changing. Um, this is something that I think is going to really bring a really cool perspective to you, because changing the game doesn't necessarily mean by your actions. Changing the game doesn't necessarily mean by what you do, but it's who you are and how you affect the game. Um, I believe that before anything, before anybody can become great at something, before anybody can reap the benefits of what it is that they're trying to reach, whatever your goals are, you have to change you first, because you're in a current situation right now, and say you want to change that. Like for me, I would like to be stable financially. And those are some big words there, but it just means I want to have a good amount of money to be comfortable in living this life, to meet the needs of me and my wife, and to enjoy it as well. To use it for the kingdom of God and be able to bless others or help businesses or bring ideas forward and all of that. But in order for me to become financially stable, to get that type of money, I have to change me first. And so I think that it's the same thing here with changing the game. And this game is what we're talking about is sports, the sports world, the culture of sports, where it is currently right now. I think it all depends on the athlete. And it can bleed into the coaches, and it can bleed into the parents. We want to be the type of athletes that's going to change all the whole atmosphere of the sports world. And I believe that it really depends on you. So let me ask you this question: have you ever taken time to really sit down and just take a look at what's going on in your life? Or have you ever asked yourself, why are things the way that they are, and why do things happen the way that they do? And as young ones coming up, athletes, humans, we should know and understand this principle here: is that if you want good wisdom, if you want to be smarter, you have to ask questions. All right, so the better your questions are, the better answers you will hear, and those type of answers can be for you and benefit you when you apply those answers and that knowledge and that understanding, if it applies to you, and if it's something that you're wanting to do. Like For athletes, let's say for the guys, you want to be bigger, faster, and stronger. And so you have to ask those questions on how that can happen. For the ladies, you want to reach a certain goal in your sport. You want to affect the people around you as being an athlete. You have to ask yourself, how can you do that? What can you do to dominate, right? And so these questions that are needed to be asked in order for you to be able to get to that place, right? And so what I've learned in my journey is that life solely depends on laws and principles. Um, it isn't the only thing, but it's one of the major things, right? And these laws and principles are both spiritual and physical. And I'll give you guys some examples here to kind of help you understand what I mean by spiritual and physical laws. So, a physical law is something like gravity. Gravity is what causes something to be pulled towards each other. And if something falls off from somewhere, it will be pulled down towards the earth because of its pull, its gravitational pull, right? And so, if the further away something is from another thing, the gravity is that pull gets weaker and weaker the farther apart they get. Okay, that's a physical law, right? A spiritual law can be something like someone's personality, right? A spiritual law, what that means is like it's a law that deals with inside of a human being. A spiritual law means that it's founded on a faith. It's founded on God, right? A spiritual law, it can be founded away from God as well, right? And so like someone's personality, it all depends on their environment, the experiences that they've went through, the things that they allow in their mind. Someone's personality can come from their parents. Somebody's personality can come from an experience they had at a vacation trip or going to a place where you've always wanted to go, and meeting people there. Your relationships can also shape your personality. These are things that are inside. You can't literally hold or grab a personality. Personality is within you. That's what makes it spiritual. I hope that kind of helps you out there, right? And so the other thing that I've learned that goes alongside with the laws and principles, the spiritual laws and physical laws and principles, is that we have a choice in using those laws and principles, right? You have choices and decisions in life that you will make, and these choices and decisions will either allow these laws and principles to benefit you, to help you, or these laws and principles can work against you, right? And so the choices and decisions that you make will ultimately, uh, um, what am I looking for here? The laws and principles will affect you in a certain way based on your choices and decisions. My gosh, I trying to get that out. My goodness. And so I I I truly believe that the way things are, or the way, why things happen, or the things that are happening in your life, it is one of the major factors for that is your choices and your decisions, because there's laws and principles that are all around us, whether we know it or not, and your choices and decisions will activate those laws and principles in your life. You can deny the law of gravity all you want, but I promise you, if you jump off of a building, you're going to go splat. I promise you that. Okay? Right? Choices and decisions can take a situation and make it better or turn it for the worse. Right? Choices and decisions can also propel you forward towards a goal that you're wanting to reach. It can hold you back, or it can make you go backwards. The choices and decisions that we make are super, super important for us in this life. For all of my young athletes, boys and girls, you need to know and understand that choices and decisions are very, very important in your life. How do you become a lazy person? It's a decision. How do you become a proactive person? Someone who's productive? It's a decision. How do you love God? It's a decision. How do you hate your parents? It's a decision. The choices and decisions that you make will ultimately lead you into a life of whatever that decision was. And so like this is I want to really hit this home so that way you understand and know how big and important choices and decisions are. Okay, there are things that might not be working in your life. You might think that the whole world is against you. You might think that schoolwork is hard. You might think that a lot of people hate you. You might think that a lot of people like you. There's a lot of things that you think. There's a lot of things that's going on in your life that can really be like confusing to you sometimes. And a lot of it is because of the choices and decisions that you make. Your choice of friends, your choice of influences, the decisions you make to allow things into your life so that way it builds up your mindset on a certain thing. For all of my really young athletes, really young people, it's even down to video games, even down to movies, it's even down to what you watch and the content that you consume. It could really affect you either in a good way or a negative way, depending on what it is that you're watching. And so this is something that I've heard, and I think and believe that it's totally uh, um, true. That choices are not just a mere wish, but they are decisions that are made with the willingness to pay the price. And so this is what this means. When you make a choice or a decision, it doesn't mean that like you're wishing that it's going to happen. When you make a choice and decision, you are actively doing what it is, what you're doing, what it takes to get you to the place that you're wanting to be, no matter what. You've made the choice to become an athlete. So now you got to pay the price, and pay the price is like training. Pay the price is like sacrificing the time to be good at your sport, to watch film, to really understand the opponent. You guys see what I'm saying? There's a price to pay to be great as an athlete in sports. Okay? Choices and decisions. Laws and principles are all around us in this world, physical and spiritual. They activate in our lives because of the choices and decisions that we make. You have to know this. You have to. Early on now, all my college athletes, you have to know this now. There are a lot of athletes, there are a lot of people in sports that we look up to professionally. A lot of those people make choices and decisions. Now, you can see the result in their careers, whether they're great or they're a really good player coming off of the bench. They're dominating at their sport, right? And all of these things can be seen and be put on display, but we can also see the choices that they make that are causing them harm as well. That are making them succeed on the field, but off the field, man, it's just their life is chaos, right? There's a lot of athletes whose life is successful on the field and it's going well off of the field as well, and that's based on choices and decisions. But there are so many athletes that we can see now that are just dealing with life. And so the laws and principles that they're dealing with is because of the choices and decisions that they have made. If you don't deal with your anger, it's going to show through in your performance on and off of the field, in and out of the ring. Right? If you don't want to deal with the unforgiveness that you have, it's going to eat at you for the rest of your life. There's not going to be a really true freedom, because that thing that you're not forgiving, that person that you're not forgiving, is always going to be in your mind, in your heart, even though you might be killing it in the sports. Right? The next thing I want to talk about is circumstances. Let's break down this word, circumstances. It's a two-part word. Okay, follow me. I'm gonna try to break this down as best as I can, so that way we can all get an understanding here. Circum, the CIRCUM part of the word, circum, this just means a circle or a surrounding, right? Stance comes from the Latin word that means to stand or to be around, right? So a circumstance is a circle that you're standing in that is surrounded by the things that involve with you, right? And we can replace ourselves with a situation. We can replace ourselves with an event. Anything that is in this circle is standing in the things that are happening around them. If you're a rich person, right, there are a lot of things. Whatever has made you rich, whether you open a business, that stuff is going to be all around you, keeping the business up, making the money, making sure that people are paid, that if you have employees, if people are working for you, if you're a person that's always sad all the time, life is going to look sad to you. There will be things that will come to you in the circumstance that will be sad. The circumstance isn't always just negative. It's positive and negative. You can be in a good circumstance, or you can be in a negative circumstance. But wherever you are standing, however you are, whatever you do, however you view life, whatever your perspective is, the things that are around you will be your circumstance. And so let me tell you something. You can literally change your circumstance by walking out of that circle and going into another one. You have to there's a lot in that journey to get out of the circle that you're standing in, to be placed to walk into another circle and change your whole circumstance. And that's on both sides. You can be in a really good situation and make a choice and decision, and little by little you are walking into another circumstance. Say somebody's just buku rich, just crazy rich, and they start making decisions that really, it might be small at first. They're not really taking care of their money. They're overspending. They're trying to keep up with all the stuff that's trending right now, the cars, the clothes, the houses, all of that, whatever it is, and not knowing that they're making these type of decisions. And later on, little by little, they'll be in a circle that is totally different from being rich, and now they might be poor. Or they might be going crazy in their mind, because all of these things are not fulfilling like it shows that it would. You know what I mean? So you can literally change your circumstance from a good one to a bad one, from a bad one to a good one. It depends on you. It depends on you. Right? What is the circumstance of the game right now? What is the circumstance of being an athlete? What is the circumstance of just being a regular human being? It all depends on you. How can we change this? How can we change the culture? How can we disrupt? What can we do to bring forth a good change? Right? To all of my college athletes, the NIL, there's a lot of money going on right now in college athletics. Kids are getting paid, especially if you're a 5-star recruit coming out into a class that's getting recruited by colleges. The colleges really have to dig into their pockets now and pay the kids before they even play it down. Right? There's a lot of kids who are coming from places where they ain't never seen this type of money before. And so instead of helping you guys in college, all my girls and guys in college, instead of helping you guys understand what the money about money, and understand how to make money grow, and understand the details in money, the good and the bad, understanding how to handle it, understanding how to steward it well, instead of just giving you this big old thing, right? Because now family members are going to come out of the blue. Now there's a unnecessary weight on you at such a young age to be the one that's going to take your family either out of poverty, out of the middle class, and into a place where everybody's doing good, instead of you just being a college athlete playing the sport. There are circumstances that we're all in, but circumstance, you don't have to stay there. You don't. Okay? There's a new type of athlete that's going to be on the rise. There's a new type of athlete, and I'm not talking about that's on the rise because you're in a new training program and you're trying to transform your body and be bigger and better for your sport and dominate and be great. Not saying those things are bad, but that's not the type of athlete that I'm talking about, because all of that stuff comes with playing a sport. All of that stuff comes with being in athletics, guy or girl. What I'm talking about is an athlete who is rooted, grounded, and understanding. An athlete who isn't afraid to continue on learning. An athlete who doesn't fall under the pressure. An athlete who is making sound decisions. An athlete who understands that in the present, in the now, I have things to take care of because there's a future that depends on what I'm doing right now. Okay, let's forget about all the extracurriculars. Let's forget about all the stuff dealing with trying to find a better version of you or anything like that. Like let's know and understand first and foremost that if I'm looking to have a platform, or if I'm looking to make a type of change, and I have this platform of being an athlete, I have to do something. You're not following trends. You're not looking at the way that the world is and trying to duplicate or make something out of something you don't understand. This new athlete is going to be grounded. You will stand on faith. You will move forward knowing and understanding who is behind you and supporting you. You're not swayed from the left or to the right. You're on the course. You're staying on this road and you're walking. And so this is where we're going to get into some keys and how we can attain this type of mindset on what this new athlete really looks like. Okay, first and foremost, you have to be thankful and grateful. Thankfulness is a superpower. Being thankful for everything that you currently have. Being thankful that you're able to dream and write down goals to achieve. Being thankful that you're still alive and breathing. Being thankful is you understanding and knowing that the things that I have are precious. Being grateful is knowing and understanding that it could be worse. That the situation, the circumstance that I'm in could be different. I'm grateful. Okay, there are learning lessons in the failures. There are learning lessons in the losses. It's inevitable in this arena of being an athlete that you will win and you will lose. Okay, so being thankful and grateful, being thankful for the things that you have, being grateful. This is what really cements all of that. Like you're truly living a life full of thanksgiving, knowing and understanding that in a blink of an eye it can change. Never forget to be thankful. Have a heart that's full of thanksgiving. You might not have gotten the starting job. Be thankful that you're on the team and you're able to contribute. Be thankful that there is a certain weight that isn't on you, and now you can focus on something that will be able to use your skills to make an impact. You might not have won the game. You might not have won the fight. You might not have won the race. Be thankful that you finished. Be thankful that you showed up for it. Because now from this, I can learn. There's something that I can do about this to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Be grateful that you're given this opportunity. Having a heart full of thanksgiving and gratefulness will keep you humble and will keep your mind in a certain place where there's not a lot that's going to be able to shake you up. If we forget about gratitude, if we forget about being thankful, we will complain about very, very, very small things, things that don't matter. We'll complain and grumble about things that might not even be there. There are things that we have that a lot of people around the world wish they had, and yet we're not thankful for those things. Be in such a place where you have thanksgiving for where you are and what you have, that even if there is a chance, a slight situation where things are starting to go in the opposite direction of where you are, because you're full of thanksgiving, because you're full of gratefulness, it doesn't bother you like how it would bother somebody else. You understand? Being an athlete that's full of thanksgiving and gratitude will help you in each phase, in each season of your life. You got injured, you're thankful that it wasn't as bad where you probably might not make it back to the sport. Be thankful that you're able to come back to the sport. Now you have time to sit down and breathe and recover. Be thankful. Be grateful that you've given this opportunity to represent your city, your town, your college, represent your family. Key number 2, have a sound mind. We talked about choices and decisions. You know why choices and decisions are made? Because of the mind. Whatever is in here, whatever you believe, whatever you're afraid of, whatever you know that you can do, whatever you want to build, or whatever you want to destroy, it all begins in here. The mind is a powerful thing. Whatever you feed it with is what you will do, what is going to be the factors that help you decide and make choices in life, for the good or for the worse. You must have a sound mind. You're not moved so easily. People ask you questions. If you're uncertain about where you are in life, you sit and you wait. You pray. You ask God. You really stay rooted and grounded. Okay, for all of my athletes who probably don't believe in God, all of my athletes that don't have a rooted, founded, foundation, maybe in family or even in support or anything like that. Learning about the mind. It's huge. It's going to be something, even if it's about decisions and choices, even if it's about how the mind works, even if it's about knowing that you can reprogram and rewire your mind. There are new things that you can learn. These are huge. I would advise that you get with someone who knows God. I would advise that you get with somebody who has a sound mind, because it says in the good book that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind. Those three things right there will keep you in a peace, in a place where you're just not you're not blown by the wind so easily. You can stand on all 10 toes and really be about your business. You know what I mean? Having a sound mind, not going with the flow, not doing what everybody else is doing, going against the grain, not being scatterbrained, not knowing about what race you are, what gender you are, not caring about what religion you are, knowing and understanding fully in your mind who it is that you are. Being founded and rooted in a faith that will express itself because of God's guidance in your life. A sound mind. Work on your mindset. Work on your belief systems. Work on the brain. Understand how this thing works. Have a sound mind. Key number 3, always learn. Never, ever, ever stop being a student. Learn each and every day. I heard this from an apostle in Africa. His name is Apostle Joshua Selman. You guys got to check him out. Search him up on YouTube. Apostle Joshua Selman. He said, true education is learning, unlearning, and relearning. Right? I think unlearning was first. Unlearning means to deconstruct your mind of all the things that have caused you either pain or harm. Deconstruct the things that are in your mind that have ever caused you to go down a wrong path, and the results have been negative towards you. You have to unlearn these things, and then you have to learn the thing that you for the goals that you want to reach, or how you want your life to pan out. If you have family issues and you want to help your family with those issues, you must change first, because you have learned those things as well. So you must unlearn those things and learn something new about how to deal with family issues and trauma, how to deal with your childhood issues. You have to change first. And then you have to learn. After you learn, you have to relearn. You have to emphasize. You have to keep on saying these things, so that way your brain, your mind can now follow with you on what you're wanting to do. You have to continue on learning about that thing. It goes back to my analogy with me wanting to be financially stable. I have to unlearn everything that's made me broke. I've been broke for a long time. I'm 36 years old. I've been broke a long time. So in order for me to get the money that I would like to have, to be stable with my money and have finances, and take my wife out on a really cool date, or go somewhere that we want to go that we want to go to, I have to learn about how to do that. And then I have to relearn it. I have to keep on learning it. I have to go back and keep on learning. Find people who are in the position that I would like to be in. If I want to be financially stable, I have to find somebody else who's financially stable, because I can't turn and look to my family for it. Because if I'm being honest, my family, all of us, we're all broke. I can't go back to my family and learn about finances. I have to find somebody. As an athlete, it's not just about tuning into the game. It's not just about focusing on what I'm supposed to do on the field, in the ring, on the mat. It's way more than that. Because anger spills in to your performance. Being upset, being unforgiving, regretful, it takes away from your ability to perform at a high Man, I'm just lost for words today. At a high tilt. We could try all we want. We can train as hard as we want, man. Always learn. Always learn. There are so many things to learn in life. There are so many people that want to help you, that want to teach you. You must always be a student. Never feel like you've arrived. You have to have an unarrived mentality. And then, last but not least, focus on life giving. Focus on life giving. Be the type of person that wants to see other people do good. Be the type of person that when somebody shakes your hand, they feel some type of energy coming from you that's just contagious. Be the type of person that as you smile, you can literally make other people smile. Focus on giving life to people. Do you have to wake somebody up from the dead? Do you have to give somebody money? This is not what I'm talking about here. You, your aura, the way that you are, how you carry yourself, can be felt by others. Jesus himself did not have to say that he was a Christian for non Christians to know that he was a Christian or to know that he was Christ. It fell off of him. If it was a cologne, you could smell it on him. There are people who flocked to Jesus because of the life-giving character he had. You must work on your character. Do your best to put others' needs before yours. Refresh others and you will be refreshed. Be that helping hand. Become the answered prayer that somebody needs. Be so life-giving that when you walk by people, they're just like, there's something about that person. A new type of athlete starts today, and we rise. We rise. We don't just start and kind of flare out after a little bit. We don't just start and kind of like become anxious or timid about it, man. We start and we finish all the way through to become this type of athlete. We change the game. We disrupt the culture, and we make the shift for a better. Be this new athlete. Be this new athlete that has a sound mind. Be this new athlete that's full of thankfulness and gratitude. Be this new athlete um, that is, what is it? Thankful, grateful, sound mind. That's always learning, right? And then at the end of it, be the one that can give life to others, uplifting people, helping them out when they're down. Whether you have it monetarily, with money, with gifts, with possessions, or you have it with just a good big hug that you can brighten somebody's day up. Dude, it's going to be good. I hope that it really helps you bring forth a different perspective and a new angle on what it is to have this platform on being an athlete. There's a new type of athlete that will come up from here, and we will change the game. Please change you first to be able to have an amazing impact on your sport in your city, your town, your team, your college, wherever you are. It can happen, and I believe in you. So I hope that the rest of your day is smooth, and I hope that you're doing well. And that if this resonates with you, please consider subscribing and share it so we can get it out to more people. And I love you. And remember, don't look to be seen, wait to be sent. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.